Graphing linear equations. This is a review of part 6. In today's lesson, students will graph lines in slope-intercept form. That's y equals mx plus b. That's what? Very good. So today we're graphing linear equations, which are in slope-intercept form. And slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Okay? Say it. Y equals mx plus b, where b is the y-intercept. What's b? Good. And m is the slope. What's m? The slope. Okay. So we are identifying both the slope and the y-intercept. Let's go ahead and start by looking at the slope. The slope is it already in rise over run form? Right? It's already there. This is 1/4. Which means when we go to graph this point, or this line, you're going to rise up 1 and run over 4. But where are you going to start? Remember your mama's ex-boyfriend? Yes? You're always going to start with the boyfriend. You're always going to start with the b, which is the y-intercept. What is the y-intercept in this equation right here? Let's circle it. Could you circle -3 for me? What's b? What is b? b is -3. So we write, hey, b equals -3. And so that means we're going to start by graphing 0, what? -3. That's the y-intercept. So let's start by doing that. 0, -3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to make it, can we see it if I put it in blue? Is that easy enough for you to see? Yeah, okay, cool. From that point now, we are going to rise up 1 and over 4. So watch carefully. From this point, I'm going to go up 1 and then over to the right. So up 1, over 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I would be here. Now, you need 2 points to make a line. What I want you to do is I want you to go the other direction. So, if we go 1 over 4, is that the same as going -1 over -4? What is negative divided by negative? Negative divided by negative is positive. So if I go down 1, where do I need to go when I run? I need to go to the what? To the left. I'm going to go down 1, I'm going to go over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, great. So make sure you have all those points on your graph. You're going to notice that when you connect the points to make a line, the line is going to be relatively flat because 1/4 is a fraction that is sort of close to the number, or to 0, to a 0 slope. So let's connect the points to make a line. And then this would be our equation. Y equals 1/4 x minus 3, where -3 is the y-intercept and 1/4 is the slope. Go ahead and get that down. Let's try number 2. Read this linear equation with me. It says, read it, please. Y equals -4/5 x minus 4. We're going to notice that our m is in red, our b is in blue. All right. The slope is a fraction. It's a what? It's a fraction. And slope is always a fraction. Slope is rise over run. What's slope? Rise over run. So when we go to graph a line, we need 2 things. We need the slope, and we need to start from the y-intercept. Where do we start? Y-intercept, which is b. So let's go ahead and identify the slope. It's already set up for us, right? So we're going to take this fraction -4/5, and we're going to write that the rise is -4, and the run is 5. Okay? Now, to save us some time, remember how we were talking about how this could be or, right? You could have -4 over 5, or let's say you want to do +4 on top. What would go at the bottom? -5, right? So really the slope, no matter what, is negative 4/5. The line's going to be going down. Either you can go down 4 and over 5, or from the y-intercept, you could go up 4 and to the negative direction 5. Let's identify the y-intercept. Can we circle it, please? Circle the y-intercept in the equation. What's the y-intercept? It's negative 4. So b is negative 4, which means I'm going to start by graphing 0, negative 4. So let's find it. 0, negative 4. Start at 0 and go down how many? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we're at negative 4. Let's now use rise over run to plot the next point on this graph. So let's start by going down 4 and over 5. Down 4, so we're counting units. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to the right, over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so this point should be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that should be 5, 8 right there. 5, negative 8. Okay, now you can see I don't want to keep going down because I'm gonna run out of space on this graph. That's why I want to do the other possibility. So could I also go up 4 and over 5? I would end up at a point on the graph. So from the y-intercept, from negative 4 now, from negative 4, ready? Go up 1, 2, 3, 4. You should be at the origin. Where's this? The origin. Now let's go over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The x-intercept of the graph would be negative 5, right? All right. So from that point, or sorry, when you have 3 points, you can make a line. What kind of a line or what kind of a slope is this? It's what? It's going down, right? You can see the slant going down. It's negative slope. The reason why it's negative is because you have one negative, right? It's either the top or the bottom. Negative, what's negative divided by positive? A negative divided by a positive is negative. So this line has a negative slope. Yeah, you can tell that the y values are decreasing, going down, as the x values are increasing. All right, so the equation for this line, I like to write the equations on top. Y equals negative 4/5 x minus 4. All right, go ahead and get that down. Now read equation 3. It says y equals 1/3 x plus 1. All right, so m is the slope. The slope is 1/3. What's the slope? 1/3. We need to make sure we can read fractions. Okay. And then b, which is the y-intercept, is 1. What's the y-intercept? It's 1. So let's go ahead and identify those things. You told me that the slope is 1/3, right? So that means that the rise is 1, the run is 3. All right. Now, do we remember the other possibility if I say that this is or? What will it be? How do we get a positive? What's negative divided by negative? Isn't it positive? Look at Bob's face. For those of you who don't know Bob, here is Bob. He got beat up at school. I asked him why. He said it's because I forgot that negative divided by negative is positive. So I could take this slope and make this negative 1 over negative 3, okay? So I can use either of these to create this positive slope, which is 1/3. But first, we have to start with the boyfriend. We have to start with the y-intercept. Start with what? The y-intercept. Will you circle it in the equation? What are you going to circle? You're going to circle positive 1. So b equals, what is b? B is 1. So we need to graph 0, 1. We need to graph what? 0, 1. So we're going to start at 0. We're going to go up how many? 1. Let's make a point there. Are we cool? Okay. From this point, let's go ahead and go up 1 and over 3. So we're going to go up 1 unit. Don't make a point there, though. Go up 1 and then go over 1, 2, 3. Now you put your dot down. You can tell that the rise is 1/3, or the slope is 1/3. Let's go the other direction, right? Let's go down 1 and to the left 3. So from the y-intercept, which is 1, we're going to go down 1. We're going to be at the origin. Now let's go over 3. 1, 2, 3. We end up at x is -3 here. Now, what's the next step? Obviously, we're making a line. Yeah? We're graphing a line based on an equation. That's the whole point of what we're doing. So we created a line. So connect the points with a line. Make sure you have arrows going in both directions. And the equation for this line that we just graphed is y equals, what was the slope? 1/3 x, and the y-intercept was positive 1. Go ahead and get that down. Let's read the last example together. Read this linear equation. It says y equals -2/3 x plus 3. So we know we need to find 2 things. What are we going to find? The first thing we're going to find is what? What's m? M is slope. What is the slope? It says -2 at the top and then 3 at the bottom. So we're going to rise down 2 and run over +3. Or what could we do? Remember Bob? Yeah. If there's a negative at the top, that means there's one negative. That negative could also go to the run. It could go to the bottom. So watch. I'm going to write 2, but this time I'm going to make it running over -3. The reason is that they are both equal is because a negative divided by a positive is negative, and a positive divided by a negative is also negative, right? So it could go either way. However, what kind of slope is this? It's a negative slope. Okay, it's going to be decreasing. First, to graph it, we need to find the y-intercept. The y-intercept is what? Circle it. It's 3, +3. So we need to graph this point 0, +3. Let's start at 0. Where are we going to go? We're going to go up 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Okay, that blue point is 0, 3. From that, we need to, let's first go down 2 and over to the right 3. So go down 2, 1, 2, and over to the right 1, 2, 3. And we make our point. Okay, we went down 2 and over 3. We could also do up 2 and over -3, right? It's going to still be on the line. Let's go ahead and try it. Go up 2, 1, 2, and over 1, 2, 3. Did you get all these 3 points? When you have your points, all you need is 2, but we have 3. We can make a line. What do you notice about the line? It's what kind of a slope here? We know it's negative slope, right? You need to use a ruler just like I'm using a meter stick or a yardstick. All right? So this has negative slope. The equation for this line, the reason I know it's negative slope is because it's a negative m, right? So y equals -2, you can keep that on top, thirds x plus 3. That's the equation for the line we just graphed. So go ahead and get that down.